Welcome back to Joe Stonner Boxing. There was another battle of undefeateds on the Magnificent Seven Ride Again Queensbury card over in Birmingham. This one was between Owen Cooper and Eithan James. Now, Eithan James came in with 12 wins. None of them were by KO. None of his wins are by KO. No defeats, no draws. Cooper had 9 wins, no defeats, no draws, but only 3 KOs. So they've only got 3 KOs between them in a total of 21 previous fights. All of them for Cooper. And this was for the WBO European welterweight title. This was a 10-rounder, by the way. I mean, completely worthless belt as far as I'm concerned. But I suppose it gets you the ranking. That's what I always say. That's the only reason I can think of that anyone will want to own it. And that belonged to Eithan James, who beat James Moorcroft in his previous fight. And the English welterweight title, which was vacant, that was also on the line. But Owen Cooper, with his 9 wins and 3 KOs, looks to me like a harder puncher than those stats suggest. Because in the first round, by the way, I should point out, Cooper, orthodox fighter, the shorter man, he's about 5'8". James looked like he was about 5'10" at least, but was a southpaw. But he looked even taller, Eithan James, because he stands bolt upright, absolutely upright. He's sticking his head up like a weather vane. And to be honest with you, I mean, he's asking for trouble there, and he got it in the first round because Owen Cooper landed an enormous left hook. I mean, this left hook landed bang on the button. As soon as James hit the floor, I thought this fight's over. But James got up, tottered around the ring like he was on high heels. Cooper's tearing after him. To be honest, James was still flicking the jab out, that southpaw jab, trying to. I mean, he was rocking and rolling. He was wobbling. He was, like I say, really sort of teetering on the brink of defeat. But Cooper couldn't get rid of him. And then the next few rounds, it was a case of James being further beaten up as he tried to sort of get the fog out of his head. But, fair play. He hung tough. And Cooper was still doing his thing, He wasn't looking for one punch. He was still firing a lot of punches, some decent sort of combinations. Again, not enough body work. I hate seeing that from fighters. You go to the body, well, the body's there, especially with someone like Eithan James. He's standing upright. There's no crouching. I just don't know why fighters don't go at the body more, especially when they've got an elongated opponent in front of them. But anyway, first 5 rounds, pretty much all one-way traffic for Cooper. James had absolutely no power to keep Cooper off him, but he was trying. He was trying to sort of box, hit and move and all this sort of thing. It just wasn't working out. Eventually he kind of got that. He got a bit of, like where he was, it sort of came back to him. Oh, yeah, I'm in a fight. Okay, I've got to win this. I've got to win. He kind of got his senses back pretty much on an even keel after that shocking first round. And in the fifth, between the 5th and the 6th round, his corner said to him, "You've got to go out there and you've got to win these rounds because you're getting beaten outside." Words to that effect. So in the 6th round, it was almost as if James thought, look, I've tried the jab and move. I've tried the stick and move business. I've tried the lateral movement. It's just not working. I'm just getting battered. So despite having no KOs on his record, he stood in front of Cooper and started to push him back. And he actually pushed him onto the ropes. Now, Cooper was countering quite well. But James was having some success. And he was scoring with some punches. And in fact, over the next few rounds, having changed his tactics totally, which shows a real bit of grit and determination, because he thought, okay, I've got to change things up. It wasn't a case of survival for this kid. No. He was like, the hell with this. I'm going in there. I'm getting stuck in. And suddenly he tried to turn from being boxed at a banger. Now, it didn't quite work. I mean, again, Cooper was landing the more hurtful punches. And James, even though he was definitely trying to force the front foot work, nevertheless, he was getting clocked. But all credit to him. A couple of the rounds, he landed some flush punches on Cooper. They're warning signs for Cooper, because against a bigger puncher, he's going to have to tighten up that defense. He's going to have to, if he has some early success, he's going to have to stop from resist the temptation of just thinking, okay, I can just walk in and bang a guy out now. Getting greedy, as they say. But nevertheless, there was only one guy who was, even though I did give 2 or 3 rounds from round 6, probably I gave think I gave 2 rounds to James between the 6th and the end of the fight. Well, I gave him the 6th, definitely. Possibly the 7th I gave him as well. But nevertheless, the only one who looked like he was going to win on points was Cooper. Unless James could somehow find some power from somewhere, even though he's never had any before in his entire career. Well, it wasn't meant to be, because at the end of it was the ninth round. There was right at the end of the round. There was an enormous, I think it was an overhand right from Cooper, which badly stung James. Weird enough, it had been the left hook that all night long that James couldn't get out of the way of. But there were some right hands landing as well. And unfortunately for James, he skidded into the ropes. He was badly shaken. And when he got back to the corner, you could tell straight away, the corner were like, no, enough of this. Now, you could say, okay, he only had one more round to go. Maybe they should have let him out. I don't know. Yeah. And by the way, James was livid. He was arguing with his corner, let me out. I'm fine. I can do it. But they made, I suppose, what you would call a merciful decision. Get him out of there to fight another day. He was shipping a lot of punishment throughout the whole damn fight. But at the same time, I can understand why he's so, irritated, so frustrated, because he could have gone the distance, I suppose. It was a good performance by Cooper. Like I say, though, in the middle rounds, he was getting clocked. He was getting a bit too greedy, coming in the front door, leaving himself wide open. And again, I repeat, I know people are sick of me saying this, but there was no body work, not enough body work coming from Cooper. Or both fighters, or James, you could say. Why do fighters forget about the body? I just don't get it. But it was a good win. It was a battle of unbeaten fighters. Owen Cooper picks up the win. He moves to 10 wins with 4 KOs now. Probably hits harder, like I say, than you would expect. Cooper wasn't jabbing a great deal. Again, probably not as much as he should have done. He seemed to fancy the power. And I think I'm right in saying both these guys are only 23. Or they're in their early 20s anyway. So James can come back again. Cooper, he's now the English welterweight champ, and he's got that WBO thing, which isn't the real. It's not the real European title. The only European title that counts is the EBU title. I mean, this was over 10 rounds, not 12. That sums it up for me, this WBO thing. But anyway, he's got the English welterweight title, so he can build on that. Maybe the British next. As for Eithan James, he showed a lot of guts, ton of guts, so he can come back. I like his attitude. He's got some skills. Maybe needs to. I don't know. I don't like real stand-up fighters. Guys that sort of stick their head up and almost ask you to hit it. But maybe that's just his natural style. I don't know. What did you think of this fight? It's a good fight, good little tussle. And leave your comments below if you got any. Also, of course, subscribe to the channel if you're new and hit the like button if you don't mind doing that. Support the channel. Spread the word about Joe Stunner Boxing. I always appreciate your time, and plenty more boxing to come from Telford. I'll catch you later. Bye for now.